Hey everyone, welcome back to Art a la Carte. Before I review the Arteza markers themselves, let's take a look at this case. I was totally like shocked when I saw it. I love it. It is so cool. It's heavy duty. It's really like secure. Everything is staying in so nicely. I love it. Now, again, I will talk about the markers. We're going to do a swatch of all the markers and test them out and kind of compare them to other things, but let's just look a little deeper. So this case, you can open it up using Velcro on the sides. All the markers are in their little rubber band houses. Now, at first, I was a little nervous that maybe I'd missed some because there's this side there, but it's for extra markers or tools that you give. But here's the cool part. You can remove the inner side or the inner packet of markers, have this space in the middle, and then choose like your favorite amount of markers to fill up that outer side. And then you have the ability to like use this as like a traveling art bag, which is perfect. I go to conventions all the time and I'm looking for ways to take and keep all of my commission art supplies in one area. Before I was like taking a box of markers and a bag of pencils and you know, liners, and then I had a little bin of papers, where with this, you know, I can take the necessity markers that I need. I could take all my markers, of course, for this set, or taking out the inner insert, I can find, you know, a sketchbook or a bunch of paper that I want to take. I can easily put it in there, and there's room inside for like some necessity art supplies. You know, just the necessities, some pens, some pencils, an eraser. You know, we're traveling light here. In all honesty, you do want to keep your tools in a little zippy bag or a pencil case because the Velcro is on the sides but not on the top and the bottom. I quickly found out when I picked it up that all my pens fell onto the floor. The Arteza markers are an alcohol-based markers like Copic, and they come with two nibs. One is a bullet nib, and then the other is a chisel nib. Now, I will say right off the bat, I am a brush nib fan. That's one of the top big things that I'm looking for in my markers. I need to have a good brush nib. But when I first started off, I started off with a brand of markers, a Spectrum Noir markers, and they did not have a brush nib. They had it very similar to this. And that's what I learned on. Now let's go ahead and swatch out the colors. Another thing that's important for me is that the colors match the cap as close as possible. Because the colors indicator on the cap is rather small because of the white plastic, you have to look right at the marker to see the color. And for the most part, the colors matched up. There were a few that were not close to the cap. In fact, the very light pale pink there, it took me forever to find that marker again because its cap definitely did not look like that color. This case comes with 60 markers, and I think there's a nice selection of colors in here. I'll break those down in just a minute, but let's look at the bullet nib is designed for your more detailed. Now, you can get a pretty nice line with it, but let's test out what alcohol-based markers are best at, which is blending. Now, if I take two similar colors and blend them, they blend beautifully, but the big test is taking like two very different colors and trying to blend them. So I'll take a kind of neon pink and a neon yellow and blend those, and you can see that. And then I'm going to take two of my alcohol-based markers, which I use Copics, and blend them. And I'll use the chisel nib just so that, you know, we're a little bit fair, just so you can see the comparison. I feel that the Copic markers blend a little bit better. If you want a really good gradient blend, that's where the brush nib comes in. With a brush nib, you really can control the pressure of how much ink is going in there, so you can kind of see the difference there. Let's give these markers an official test run, and I figured it's been almost a month since I did a draw your original character in my style. If you'd like to submit your character for this, you can use the hashtag #ArtAlaOCD original character draw. And I chose this character by Valerie Yellow over on Instagram. One of the things I ask about when I do these characters is for you guys to tell me as little as possible about them. And I liked this one. One, I was trying to find a character that had similar colors to what I had in this set of markers. And I also liked the fact that her complexion isn't a normal complexion. It's kind of a grayish based complexion. So I'm doing the best I can with these markers. I'm a little limited on colors. And speaking of colors, let's talk about how many colors are in this set of Arteza markers. You can actually get these in a couple of different sets from like I think 4 markers. This one here is a 60 set marker. It retails at about $70, but then you can get the complete set of 120 markers, and that's about $130. I will leave links to where you can purchase these in the description box below. Arteza sent me these to try out and give my opinion on them. So let's give a little opinion. I understand that I don't have the full set, but if you get the 60 set, I kind of broke them into little bits of groups. So for your oranges, I would say you have about 3 oranges, 11 blues, 7 greens, 12 pinkish red colors, 8 yellow colors, 6 brown colors, 5 purple colors, and 7 grayish blackish colors, plus 1 colorless blender, which did work really well. You'll see that I put these circles in her kind of jumpsuit. I used the colorless blender to lift the colors out of that. But if you're just starting off, it's a great set. The 2 things that I look for in marker sets if I'm going to invest in is, 1, I love a brush nib. So if you're not set in your ways that you have to have a brush nib with your markers, then this is a great set for you. But if you are sold on brush nibs, then this might not be the set for you. The other thing that I look for is I want my markers to be refillable, because I'm using them all the time, and even the best marker is going to dry up after a little while. So I want my markers to be able to be refilled. And as far as I can research, I haven't found any information about them having refills. I love the case that these markers came in. The only negative I have with the case is the elastic that holds the markers in is really tight. So if I was using them and wanting to put the markers right back in their spots, it takes a little bit of, it's not a easy one-handed job. It's a little bit tight. Maybe after using it and the elastic loosens up a bit, that might be easier. But I find that I would probably pack my markers in there, and then when I'm using them, lay them out on a tray and just use the elastic for the transportation part. Overall, this is a great set, especially if you're wanting to get into alcohol markers and you don't want to spend a ton of money. You'll find that this set averages to be a little bit more than $1 per marker, which is really good comparable to Copic markers, which without a coupon, you're buying them from an average store, can be $8 to $9 per marker. So again, if you want to check these markers out, I will leave a link to where you can purchase them in the description box below. And if you're brand new to my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on upcoming videos, especially Monday's video, because I'm going to be talking about a project that I've been working on this last month. So I've had a lot of you guys asking, I'm going to talk about it in Monday's video. While you wait for that video to come out, you can check out one of these videos here. And as always, God bless you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. And until next time, God bless you guys, and we'll see you in another art video. Bye-bye.